Welcome back to more wild Reddit stories
with Septa
and SOARE. And you guys, how are you feeling?
I am excited and a little nervous.
Right.
Just because I know we'll have a good time, but we've heard some weird, concerning stories recently. So I'm not sure which direction it's ever gonna go. So
yeah, it's entertaining, but like it also shows like the worst in humanity sometimes.
I know.
And then like, how do how am I supposed to feel about that? Should I feel amused or just disgusted? I don't know.
Sometimes it's just rough, but it's also just really cool to hear crazy stories because it is amusing.
Yeah.
It just is. You guys know, you laughed. I laughed.
That's true. Yeah, we know some of you out there enjoyed some of those stories. So. Does that make us bad people? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is called "A Boyfriend Won't Stop Telling Me I Have BO."
Okay, so like initial feelings,
right,
is maybe this person could even have like a health problem.
That does happen, right? That
could cause that because there are lots of conditions that cause BO and you wouldn't necessarily know because it's your smell. So you're like nose blind to it, but other people would know.
You know, my first thought was reading the title. He's smelling himself. He's like, you stink, but he doesn't realize he's smelling himself.
Yeah, maybe.
I've been with my boyfriend for over a year and everything has been great except for one thing. Every single day, at least once, he will tell me that I stink and smell of BO. When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day, and now I'm so paranoid about smelling bad that I shower at least twice a day. I apply new industrial strength deodorant every few hours. I have a reminder on my phone, perfume, and I brush my teeth anytime I eat or drink something that isn't water. Jesus.
That's a lot.
That's so much every single time. That's not just water.
If I washed my hair that much, it would just be a frizzy. I would look like a troll doll, probably. It would be beautiful like troll doll. Coarse, frizzy mess.
Oh, but you'd be like in Trolls though, like the main character, because you can sing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you'd be like Anna Kendrick troll doll.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful. I feel like I'm going crazy. I didn't think I smelled bad in the beginning, and I don't think I smell bad now, but I obviously smell bad to him, right? I'm that weirdo that keeps sneakily smelling their own armpits. I've been to the doctor, and he has said there's nothing medically wrong. It has honestly gotten to the point where I literally shove my armpit in my friends' and family's faces, asking if I smell bad. They all say I don't smell like BO at all. One friend even said I smelled too clean, like a Lush store.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Does anyone else think that she smells bad?
Apparently not. Apparently he's the only one who thinks so. I mean, she's asking around her, unless everyone's lying to her to be nice. But
no, there's no way. If they're like that concerned, bad, you would definitely be honest.
Right. So if you smell as bad as the boyfriend's acting like, then somebody would say something. Maybe especially like a close friend or family.
This. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just him, but I'm trying to figure out why.
I'm getting so paranoid. He won't cuddle or anything when he says I smell. I really don't know what more I can do.
I have 2 options. Either he could be like cheating.
So it's like an excuse to not get close.
Like when he's feeling guilty or after he's been around the other person and is scared that maybe he smells like them or something like that. Sure. That's when he's like, you smell bad, so I can't be near you kind of thing, to just like cover his own butt.
Yeah, sure.
Or what if he's one of those people that really doesn't like physical affection and touching in any way, and that's his excuse to be able to get out of that because it just makes him uncomfortable.
It could be, but like, I wish he'd be able to just say that.
It would be nice if he could just say it, but especially since they've been together for a year.
But like, we also don't know the dynamics either. Like, what if she is like super cuddly and affectionate? So then him being like, no, I don't like that. Maybe he's worried that it might damage the relationship somehow. But you think that making fun of her and telling her she stinks would damage it worse than just being honest.
Yeah, because you don't have to be mean.
That was the end. We're at the update now.
Okay.
So it says, so unexpected edit. I waited for him to make a comment this morning so I could talk to him. It was less than an hour after waking up that he said, God, you stink. I had already showered and put on deodorant. I snapped and asked what exactly was he smelling because at this point I'm one of the cleanest people on the planet, and if I still smell bad to him, then we should just break up. He got all panicked and upset. I eventually got out of him that this is what his father always said to his mother. Apparently his father told him that it was a surefire technique to have a woman never leave you because, quote, she will feel too low to cheat, will love you only, and will always be clean. Needless to say, his father is wrong. He's packing his things and moving out of my house today.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He went with the whole destroy their self-confidence.
Yes.
And gaslighting tactic to help the relationship last.
Mm-hmm. What a horrible way to treat somebody and a horrible way to treat a relationship.
That is awful. That is like the worst advice from a parent.
Yeah, the fact
it was from his dad.
So his dad is a horrible person, probably, it seems like. And for him to like listen to that and be like, that's great advice.
That's a great idea.
If my father said that to me, I would just call him an idiot. I'm like, you're being mean. Why would you do that? That's just so rude.
I am just super upset that he took it as far as he did.
He was supposed to. That's what he was told to do.
Without any regrets or anything like that. Like, she went to doctors.
But that means it's working. Wouldn't that just be evidence that his dad was right? Like, oh my God, okay, it's working. She's taking this like I was hoping, right? Because if it's the goal is to like tear down her self-esteem, if she's so self-conscious about that she's seeing doctors.
That sounds really, really dumb. Especially if you're in America. You can't afford those bills. Especially if you're living together.
Go broke because you're telling your girlfriend or wife or something that she smells.
Yeah. You're insanely in debt and have to file for bankruptcy because you kept telling your girlfriend that she smelled bad to make sure the relationship lasted and she'd never cheat on you. So weird. It's so weird. It's like a whole year of her life bathing constantly and wasting so much money on doctors and deodorant and sprays.
Yeah, she was brushing her teeth after she
every meal
had anything besides water. So even if she's like, oh, I want some juice, she would then brush her teeth after drinking some juice.
And that could like destroy the enamel on your teeth to be brushing them that much.
Yeah, brushing your teeth that much is not good.
No.
Not a good thing.
That's so sad.
Someone's like, imagine telling a girl she smells to make her want you more.
That was like not even like an am I the a-hole? It's a he's the a-hole.
Pretty much. Yeah. There's not much of there's not a debate there.
No. Yeah. None at all.
And everyone gave, because it was in the relationship advice Reddit. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, leave him.
Leave him.
So.
That's so sad.
Quality advice, I would say, in that situation.
It's so much wasted time, too.
Yeah. Okay. This one is from Museum of Reddit. A classic Reddit story. One that if you're a Redditor, you probably know it. But I was not for a long time, and you're not. So this is fresh for us. And then, for those of you listening, you'll either know it and probably love it, or it'll be new for you, too.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the title, per usual. It's not like an Am I the Asshole or anything like that, okay? The title is The Poop Knife.
Mold a poop into a knife and freeze it?
That's be like a way to kill somebody.
Yeah.
And then like stab them with it, and then it'll slowly defrost in them and then infect their stab wounds.
Yeah. It makes me think of the murder mystery where like they kill them with an icicle, basically, and then the murder weapon melts away. Mm-hmm. I
saw a story like that where someone was just walking, they got impaled by an icicle, and they couldn't figure out what happened to the person.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, it seemed like a murder, but it turns out that like it had just
freak accident.
Yeah, and then it melted away. So they're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone births giant logs of crap. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and the vortex of draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room, only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you give me the poop knife?" I thought it was a standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Fast forward to 22. It's been a day or two between poops, and I'm over at my friend's house. My friend was the local dealer and always had guests over because you can't buy weed without sitting on your ass and sampling it for an hour. I excuse myself and lay a gigantic turd. I look down and see that it's a sideways one, so I crack the door and call out for my friend. He arrives and I ask him for his poop knife. My what? Your poop knife, I say. I need to use it, please. What the f*** is a poop knife? Obviously he has one, but maybe he calls it by a more delicate name. A fecal cleaver, a dung divider, a guanoglaive. I explain what it is I want and why I want it. He starts giggling, then laughing. Then lots of people start laughing. It turns out the music stopped and everyone heard my pleas through the door. It also turns out that none of them had poop knives. It was just my f***ed up family with their f***ed up bowels. My life. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. It turns out that she did not know what a poop knife was and has been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. Thankfully, she didn't cook with it, but used it to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now. There's an edit. Common question. Why was this not in the bathroom instead of the laundry room? Answer. We only had one poop knife, and the laundry room was central to all three bathrooms. I have no idea why we didn't have 3 poop knives. All I know is that we didn't. We had the one, possibly because my father was notoriously cheap about the weirdest things. So yes, we shared our poop knife.
I just want to know what their diet's like. You know? Like,
to be like dropping logs that large
and that firm,
yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. And how big is this person in general? Yeah. I also want to know that.
Yeah, are they like a larger person too?
Yeah, larger person dropping larger, denser logs, or is it like a small person who just can drop logs?
I'm just trying to imagine what your diet would be like to like have such
powerful fecal matter.
Yeah. And then also mentioned casually that it had been like a day or two since their last bowel movement.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so is it just common for your family to get stocked up?
Maybe.
And then that's when the epic log hits. So they're like dehydrated, which is what makes it like more
could
compact.
Be. Right.
It's like a constant cycle of constipation and then epic log.
Maybe that one girl's boyfriend has been sneaking in and feeding them sawdust.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just sawdust logs. They're literally dropping logs because they're eating so much sawdust.
Oh my god.
That's what it
is. No, it can't be that guy because his brother was so confused and concerned.
How would you feel if when we first started dating, like I was pooping and I was like, yo, babe, can you grab the poop knife?
I feel like I would have changed your diet.
Okay. What if my diet's already pretty solid? It's just, my logs are just crazy.
I don't know that I would want a knife necessarily.
Poop spoon?
In the bathroom. So you might have to change what it is.
What would you accept then?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was just a butter knife.
I don't like the thought of a knife in the bathroom. I don't know why.
But a spoon or a fork is fine.
I wouldn't want it to be any kind of cooking utensil at all.
Okay, let's see.
It could not be anything like that.
All right.
You'd have to get like a poop stick or something weird.
A poop stick?
I don't know. It just have to not be associated with any kitchen utensils ever.
Just shoving poop down the toilet with a stick. So this is other highlights from that thread. So the original thread with the story is gone.
Okay.
I don't know if they deleted it or if it got deleted somewhere, but there's apparently something else in that thread that was really interesting. So it's another little story, okay? My friend's sister laid a huge turd in the toilet. She couldn't get it to flush. So she just casually strolls into the kitchen while me and my buddy are watching Friday night videos and grabs a pocket knife from the junk drawer. Goes back towards the bathroom. My buddy says, what the F do you need a knife for? So she says the toilet won't flush. Their dad hears this, jumps up, and runs down to the bathroom and screams, "Who shit this turd?" Which brings Mom into the bathroom. She freaks out. Now all 5 of us are in the throne room in admiration of her magnificent turd. The dad asks, "What is the knife for?" And his sister goes, "It's what I used to cut them." That's what she said. It was silent until her mom asked, "How long have you been cutting turds with that knife?" I am dying. My friends are in tears. Well, since we were all here, I guess the secret is out. So I get massive turds on my period, Mom. So for about 6 years, Mom. She goes to leave and her dad grabs her and says, "Cut the cheese, sweet pea, and that's your knife now."
Oh.
That's it. I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. She's in tears. Her mom is mortified and her dad was trying to be supportive. My buddy and I are being told jackasses. Her dad pulls us aside and threatened to kick the shit out of us if a word of Sir Turdley of Bummertown gets out of the house. We never said a word about it outside of their house, but we were brutal to her at home.
Wow. If it was a period turd, there'd be a lot more in that toilet than just a turd. I just feel like it would hopefully be obvious as to the culprit of said turd with the amount of blood that would also be in the water.
Well, maybe
unless she flushed.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it flushed all that down and then it was just a big turd. Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. I was like, I mean, what if it was such a huge turd that like the dad's like, "Is your anus ripped open from this turd?"
So people cutting their turds is a thing.
I didn't know that. I never heard that in my life. I didn't know it was an issue, but maybe I just have lame turds. Am I the asshole for drinking at an alcohol-free wedding?
Maybe. It was supposed to be alcohol-free. So it sounds like you purposefully went against the bride and groom's wishes. And I feel like it was their wishes for a reason.
I was invited to my cousin's wedding in Boston. That's where most of our family is from. I live in San Antonio, so it's a bit of a trip.
Oh, dang.
I don't see my family much, but we do keep in constant touch. I'm not no contact with anyone or anything like that. My cousin's fiance's father is in recovery for alcoholism. Please don't make any Boston jokes. I've heard them all. For that reason, they decided to have an alcohol-free wedding. They made the interesting decision to have the reception at a hotel with multiple ballrooms. This meant that there were actually 4 wedding receptions going on, and the other 3 were not alcohol-free. Long story short, a few of us popped over to the wedding with a cash bar and had a couple of drinks. Okay, most of us popped over and drank at the other wedding. It was actually a lot of fun, and after all the speeches and reception stuff, a bunch of us went over there to party. My cousin's reception was kind of boring. It was mostly the old people and the family with kids who stayed. My mom gave me before I went back home. She said I was an asshole for picking a drink over a family event. I took a week of PTO for this wedding. I spent that week visiting with my family. I'm not sure how sitting in a dark room with a bunch of sober Irish people is more meaningful than actually going over to see them at their homes. Am I the asshole?
For me, it would just kind of come down to like, how much time did he actually spend at that wedding and at that reception? Did he actually like attend, or did he just like dip for booze straight away along with most of the family apparently, and then they were left with an empty reception after they paid however much for that ballroom and whatever food?
Just reading it straight like that, I would say that he is an asshole because he also just went to some other random wedding to drink there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want random people at my wedding. Just, I don't even care if they're only there just to have a few drinks or not. I wouldn't want them there.
No.
You know?
Yeah, that's like, that is weird. Like, I was trying to make it in my head to where it was like he attended the wedding and then he left and went to like the bar.
If he had done that, that'd be one thing.
That would be one thing.
I would still think he's kind of a dick though. Because
it's one night.
Yeah.
And it's the whole reason for the trip in the first place.
Right. And like, it's supposed to be like, I mean, sorry, it's boring, but it's supposed to be like a celebration. And that's great that you went and saw them at their homes. I'm sure they appreciated that too. But why can't you also just stay for the entire ceremony, reception, everything? Why can't you just hang out with your family?
I do feel like that's like a really small sacrifice to make because weddings are expensive.
Yes, they're very expensive.
They're so expensive for no reason.
Yeah.
And when you have like family come together for that event and you put all that money into it for them, kind of expect them to attend.
Plus, it was mainly for the alcohol. Like it was the alcohol part that made them want to go somewhere else.
That makes them assholes. Yeah.
Which I'm like, you couldn't just
one night without booze.
Yeah, you couldn't just have like you couldn't be sober for a night. And like it's not like they did it to be boring. They were saying that the uncle was recovering from alcoholism. So like they're trying to just help with that, like they didn't want the uncle around it if they want them there at the wedding. I don't know. I think he's an asshole. And everyone else who went, because he said that him plus other people went.
Yeah, everyone else who also dipped for booze.
I'm just trying to imagine like our wedding. We had an alcohol-free wedding.
We did.
So if the people who want alcohol were just like, it was like reception time. And it's like, all right, see you later. There's like this wedding over here. We're going to go get some booze. And then we don't see them the rest of the night.
I would be very upset.
I'd be upset. You're the asshole. If people left your wedding to go have fun at another wedding, how would you feel? You could have always gone out to drinks afterwards. OP said, we did go afterwards. All the stuff was done. The cake was cut and the speeches were made. The garter and bouquet were thrown. And then someone said, was the event over or you just left after the important stuff? And then they just said, when is it okay to leave? So they didn't answer if it was actually over, if it was just the important stuff that was over. But to me, all of it would be important.
It sounded like he was trying to make excuses for when he left the wedding. So I don't know if I necessarily believe that it was done by the time that they went over there.
Yeah, I don't think it was done. I don't think so. I think he probably just moseyed over there when he felt like it. It was like, I'm just gonna go drink and have fun. And like also sad that you have to drink to have fun.
Sounds like he's kind of the asshole.
Mild asshole. I wanted to leave this one with like a kind of like a satisfying story. Okay. And I think...
Is it actually going to be satisfying?
It is.
Okay.
And I think like it pretty much says it in the title. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
I was a bully in high school who only stopped when a girl beat the absolute shit out of me, and it was the only fight I ever lost and the last time I was in one. So it says, I am a middle-aged man, upper class, married. Pillar of the community, mild-mannered, and avoids confrontation, especially fighting. When I was younger, though, I was an asshole and a bully. I could make the excuse that it was because I had an emotionally abusive stepdad, but my brother turned out okay. So I had a growth spurt in middle school, started lifting weights as a freshman in high school, and became a bully. I got into lots of fights, but I chose my opponents well and never lost. At some point, I started teasing girls verbally to see if any guys would step up. I said something to a group of girls once, and one of the girls looked like she was silently crying. Her friend then proceeded to beat the out of me. She was a regular looking high school girl, nothing special about her. I was a taller than average guy who lifted weights. It was different than fighting guys. With guys, you often taunt each other and dance around first. She just came at me with both arms going. It wasn't a sucker punch or anything. I was just not prepared for the ferocity. I tried my best and quickly couldn't do anything but try to protect my head. She hit hard too. Soon I was on the ground, fetal position, crying, begging her to stop. Never been that scared or helpless in my life. Teachers pulled her off. She got away from one of them and managed to kick me in the shin so hard that I can still feel it today if I move the wrong way. We both got suspended. I flew straight after that, moved across the country to college and became a different person. I have no hard feelings at all. I deserved it at the time and it changed me for the better.
Nice. Girls fight using their crazy.
I just thought that was really satisfying there at the end, And not only that, but like beat his ass so badly that even now he's like acknowledging it, being like,
I deserve that. You made me a better person.
She whooped the out of me and I am better for it.
The way he had to squeeze in that he's upper class though was so weird.
Well, I mean, he got knocked down like 15 pegs. He's trying to hold on to something, I'm sure.
Yeah, now
make himself feel a little bit better.
He's still got like a weird like superiority complex.
Maybe he was saying it though to be like, I think getting my ass kicked helped me achieve what I've got. This. So it's like, you know, I am married, I am upper class, and I feel like getting my ass kicked is what helped me get to this. So I appreciate her kicking my ass.
Fair.
You know, because at the end, even he's like, I needed it.
I just keep imagining it. And just like the full on flailing with all of your strength, basically, to beat the crap out of this guy because you made your friend cry.
Yeah.
That's something I would have done.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, you know? So let us know which story you thought was the craziest. The BO one, poop knife one, or the guy who ran away from the wedding to drink.
Yes.
And then let us know how you feel about that last one, because I'm sure that if you made it this far, you probably just enjoyed that.
Yeah. And I want to know your opinion on the whole, like, wedding, am I the a-hole story? Would you say he's the a-hole? Or would you not? Where does it teeter for you personally?
Yeah, like, I feel like that one's kind of like, he was deemed the asshole on Reddit. But I do feel like there's definitely like a fine line somewhere.
Yeah,
in
there's
there.
there's like a weird gray area there.
Maybe with more context, we'd be able to get a better read. But
yeah, especially with like the way that, like, was the wedding over? Had he actually left? Was he just popping over there to go have fun and stuff, and then coming back and being like, "Hey, but we're having a great time over there, so I'm gonna go back over there. Okay, bye."
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like there was a lot of things left out of that story that could have given a clearer picture. So I want to know what everybody else thinks.
So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Like, please, please, please do. Because
new channel.
New channel is small. Everything helps. So like, subscribe, comment down below your feelings on everything. If you liked it enough, share it with somebody. And yeah, hopefully we will see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.